Hey there, Polity Peeps, and welcome. Welcome to the very first video of PolitiVerse. I'm your host, PolitiBuddy, and I am super excited that you are here. So, before we start, I have a question for you. Have you ever heard people talking about governments, election, power, or even just arguing what's fair? Then, well, guess what? That's often where our story begins. So today we are diving into the very basics. What exactly is politics and what in the world is political science? Well, alright, so let's start with the very first question, which is what is politics? You hear the word all the time, right? The politics of the office, international politics, local politics. It can seem it's everywhere and sometimes a little confusing. In simple terms, politics is all about how groups of people make decisions and how power is shared and used within those groups. Think about it in this way. In your family, who decides what to have for dinner? How chores are divided? That's a little bit of family politics in action. In your community, who decides where the new park should go? What are the new rules for using public spaces? That's the local politics. In a country, who makes the law? How are taxes collected and spent, and who gets to lead? So, well, that's national and international politics. At its core, politics often involve like decision making, where finding ways for group to agree on a course of action, even when they have different ideas. Then power, the ability to influence other or get things done. This power can come from many sources like authority, wealth, or just even having a convincing argument. Then conflict and cooperation, where politics often involve different interests clashing, but it also requires people to work together to achieve common goals. And then governance, which is a process of ruling and managing in a community or society. So politics is not only about politicians in fancy building. It's about the fundamental part of how human society organize themselves, and it's about who gets what, when, and how. Now you might be thinking, okay, PolitiBuddy, I kinda get it, like what politics is in our daily life, but what about political science? What is it? Well, it's a little bit tricky, but think it this way. If politics is what happens, then political science is the study of what happens. Think about it. If you observe weather, meteorology is the science that studies it. Similarly, if you see politics in action, political science is the academic field that tries to understand it systematically. Political science is the social science that studies the theory and practice of politics and describes and analyzes political system and its behavior. That's a bit of mouthful, right? Let's break it down. So whenever it comes to political science, it's also social science. This means it uses systematic methods of inquiry, like observing, researching, and analyzing data to understand the social world, specifically the political aspect. Then secondly, it studies theory. Political scientists explore big ideas about how politics should work, like justice, democracy, and rights. The great thinkers like Plato, Aristotle, and other writers laid to the groundwork for these theories. Thirdly, it studies practice. Political scientists also look at how politics actually work in the real world. They analyze things like election, political parties, government, policies, international relations, and public opinion. There are a lot of things. Then fourth point is it describes and analyzes political system. They examine different types of government around the world and how they function. Why is India parliamentary? Then why democracy is more suitable to India? How does the US presidential system work? Then lastly, it describes and analyzes political behavior. They try to understand why people vote the way they do, why social movements emerge, and what influences political attitudes. So, political science is not only about memorizing names and dates, it's also about developing a deeper understanding of the forces that shapes our world. from local community to the entire globe. So by knowing this fact, we can build a more better understanding about politics and political science. By understanding these basics, we can become more informed citizens. We can better understand news and current event, whatever is going on in our television and on social media. We can participate more effectively in our community and democracy. And then we can make a difference by advocating for those issues that we really care about. That, my friends, is what PolitiVerse is all about. We are going to explore those key terms, unpack how our political system works, and understand the roles of leaders and the public, all in an easy to understand way. So, are you ready to dive deeper into the fascinating world of politics? Make sure to subscribe to PolitiVerse and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next video where we will be tracking our first key political term. And along with that, I would love to know what are your initial thoughts on politics. What are you most curious about learning? Let me know in the comment section, and thanks for joining me in PolitiVerse. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed, and see you in the next video.